Well, this goes back to that May 11th meeting that was moved down to the Artesia Center. There was actually nothing wrong with moving it or the fact that it was held at a private location, because the way open meeting laws dictate is as long as it's made available to the public and there's no charge to the town and there's no restriction as to who can come, then it's a fine place to have a meeting, and as long as it meets also with the American Disabilities Act, that anybody in wheelchairs or hard of hearing or any of that stuff it meets the requirements. The problem stems from the fact that as to how the meeting was moved. I can't preach this enough. When I was running, it was on a basis of open and transparent government. So in order to move a meeting, according to town board policy, which I have here, and it's 3.1, that the town board shall hold regular meetings on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month unless otherwise determined by the board. So this would be a decision by the board to move this meeting, which means that somebody would have to come forward and say, look, the Rood Center is going to be used this day, we need to move the meeting. The board would take it as an agenda item. We would vote on a time, place, and location to hold as to an alternate location as to having this meeting. There were at least 3 complaints that I know of that were filed with the Attorney General's office into regards as to how the meeting was moved. And as a 3-page letter from the Attorney General's office, the main paragraph that comes out of everything that was here is, this letter is a warning to those board members who emailed their approval to an alternate location for the May 11th meeting. The emails approving the town manager's selection of an alternate venue may constitute action by the board, and under the NRSs it would be considered a serial communication, which would be a creative created a constructive quorum. So anybody that has any idea as to how the open meeting law works, if there's 3 or more board members, that's a quorum. It doesn't matter how it happens. If you talk to one board member and that board member goes to another board member and to another board member, then you've created a serial quorum, and that's strictly forbidden. But as far as the Attorney General's office goes, the first letter is just considered a warning. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it could be as simple as, say, at Christmas time when one of the board members is inviting everybody to a Christmas party. That person can't directly send the email to all 5 board members. But what they can do is they can send it to the town manager, and then the manager can send it out because he's allowed to communicate to us all at once. But we could not hit the reply to all button because that would be considered a serial communication.
I see. Do we know the reason why the meeting was moved to the Artesia Community Center?
It was the fact that at least once or twice every 2 years with the election process that the Rood Center gets tied up and it's not available for our use. And for some reason it just came about that the town manager felt he wanted to have a meeting in a different location like once a quarter just to get into the habit of it. I seriously doubt there will be I don't think there will be any reprimand. It may just be, like a stern warning saying, here's this letter in regards to action that you did. But the timing couldn't have been better, as the fact that we had postponed the goals and objectives, and I believe that's coming up on this next town board meeting, so all this stuff will have to be brought up during the meeting too.
All right. Have you spoken to Bill Kobarger about this issue? And if you have, what has he said?
Actually, I haven't had any communication with him since I received this letter. Okay. And, I showed this to you, and it was carbon copied, or, CC'd to all the board members and the town attorney.